deficit sumo deadlift, and I want to point out that this is a setup I'm only using for example's sake. I would highly recommend making sure that whatever platform you're elevating your feet on, you're doing it that is a little more firm than this pad that I have right here. So bumper plates are great for it. Mini small plyo boxes are pretty solid for it. Outside of that, we have to make sure we have probably one of those two things in order to actually do this correctly. The key here is exactly what it sounds like. We are elevating yourself up to get the sumo deadlift off the ground in a slightly different, slightly lower position. Therefore, the bar is starting here instead of starting up here on my shins. So exactly the same technique as normal. The key is we really have to over-exaggerate the bottom position. So in this bottom position, I'm getting down as low as I possibly can. I'm not squatting here to get this up. It's still a deadlift, right? We're still doing primarily work from the hip, and we're still hinging as best we can, except obviously my knees are going to bend to get a little bit deeper down there. We just got to make sure we're not allowing our hips to get too low. Our hips always want to be, probably at that nice like 45-degree angle for the most part. Like we don't want to go lower than that. And then from this position, I still get tight, still pull the scaps down and back, keep the bar right close to my shins, make sure everything's straight, and then drive through the heels and go right up, okay? Tempo is always determined by what the sheet says. I'm gonna go down to the 4 count. I hinge till I can't anymore. I get that extra range by bending the knees. This is not a situation where we're trying to like maximally get into like crazy deep hip flexion here. That's more of like a straight leg sumo deadlift from a deficit, I guess. We want to make sure we're getting as deep as possible here into the hips, but then we're also using the knees to get that increased range at the bottom, as opposed to like trying to go straight leg here, which is a lot more hamstring dominant. Not our goal right now. Make sure, again, we're driving through the heels here. Upper back is tight, back is flat, keeping that nice hinge, and then over-exaggerating the hips, driving forward at the top, initiating with the hips going back down, big flat spine, back down to the bottom position. Each rep looking as similar as the last as much as possible, and at least targeting the backside as best we can.